This is news analysis coming to you live on Politics and Business Television Abuja. Good afternoon and many thanks for joining us on the program for today. I'm Fatima Abubakar Oyibo. The headlines. Religious tensions flare as PFN Islamic Council trade accusations. Sheikh Zani to Nigerians. Come home, rebuild with pride. PDP's power struggle intensifies ahead of Ibadan convention. And on the foreign scene, tragedy at sea. Malaysia migrants. Boat capsizes, 13 dead. This is all the stories and more to come shortly after the break. To stay with us. Welcome back. And now the news in details. A war of words has erupted between the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria (PFN) and the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, following claims of a Christian genocide in parts of the country. The PFN, citing recent attacks on Christian communities, accused authorities of turning a blind eye to religious-motivated violence. In response, the Islamic Council condemned the allegations as inflammatory and divisive, urging religious leaders to avoid politicizing national security issues. The exchange has sparked concern among civil society groups who warn that such rhetoric could deepen sectarian divides. Calls are growing for both religious bodies to engage in constructive dialogue and promote unity amid rising insecurity. Government officials have yet to issue a formal statement, but insiders suggest efforts are underway to mediate the dispute and prevent further escalation. Meanwhile, former Senator Sheikh Zani has called on Nigerians whose U.S. visas have been revoked to return home and contribute to national development. Speaking in response to recent reports of mass visa cancellations, Zani emphasized that dignity and opportunity can still be found within Nigeria. He urged affected individuals not to despair but to channel their skills and experiences into building a better future locally. The former lawmaker highlighted the resilience of Nigerians and the need to shift focus from dependency on foreign systems. He encouraged returnees to explore entrepreneurship, innovation, and civic engagement as pathways to success. His message comes amid growing concerns over immigration restrictions and the brain drain affecting the country's talent pool. In another development, tensions are running high within Nigeria's People's Democratic Party (PDP) as over 3,000 delegates prepare to converge on Ibadan for a pivotal national elective convention scheduled for November 15th and 16th. The event, originally intended to unify the party, has instead become a flashpoint in a deepening leadership crisis. Two rival factions, one led by acting national chairman Umar Damagum and the other by FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, are locked in a fierce battle for control, with each side claiming legitimacy and pushing conflicting agendas. Despite legal challenges and internal divisions, the Damagun-led camp insists the convention will proceed as planned at the Lake Salami Stadium. The stakes are high as the outcome could reshape the PDP's leadership structure and influence its strategy for the 2027 general elections. Observers say the convention may either mend the party's fractured unity or further entrench its internal discord. You're still watching these analysis right here on Politics and Business Television Abuja. Still to come, Nigeria's crude revenue dips sharply despite output gains. Details of this headline and more news content after a quick break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Moving on to business matters. Nigeria's earnings from crude oil and gas sales have plummeted by 43.3%, falling from 1.90 trillion naira in 2023 to 1.08 trillion naira in 2024, according to the Budget Office of the Federation. The sharp decline comes despite a rebound in oil production, highlighting persistent challenges in the petroleum sector. The drop also fell 26.3% below the government's projected target of 1.46 trillion naira, raising concerns over fiscal sustainability and budgetary shortfalls. Experts attribute the plunge to weaker global crude prices, market volatility, and structural inefficiencies, despite reforms under the Petroleum Industry Act. The government is now under pressure to diversify revenue sources and strengthen non-oil sectors to cushion the impact. Analysts warn that without urgent intervention, Nigeria's economic recovery could face significant setbacks. And on to the foreign scene, authorities in Malaysia have confirmed that the death toll from a migrant boat tragedy near the Malaysia-Thailand border has risen to 13. The vessel, believed to be carrying undocumented migrants from Myanmar, capsized off the coast of Langkawi, prompting a large-scale search and rescue operations. Maritime officials say the boat was overcrowded and ill-equipped for the journey, with thousands still missing and only a handful rescued so far. The Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency continues to comb the waters, aided by Thai counterparts, in hopes of locating survivors. This incident highlights the growing desperation among migrants fleeing conflicts and poverty, risking their lives on perilous sea routes. Officials have urged regional cooperation to address the root causes of such dangerous crossings and prevent further loss of life. And now for sport news, let's join Able Sunday.
Welcome to Bandits Sport News Update. I'm Able Sunday. Big action in the Premier League at the weekend. Five-time champions Manchester City crushed Liverpool 3-0 in what was Pep Guardiola's milestone 1,000 days in charge. Goals from Eden Hazard, Nico Gonzalez and Jerry Duku sealed a statement win. Then at the bottom end of the table, Nottingham Forest beat Leeds United 3-1, claiming their first league win since opening day and giving the team boost in the survival battle. Elsewhere, Aston Villa delivered an emphatic 4-0 win over Bournemouth, while Brentford edged past Newcastle United 3-1, Newcastle slipping further in form. Finally, top of the table challenger, Arsenal were held to a dramatic 2-2 draw by Sunderland, the Black Cats scoring a late equalizer to snatch a point. That's your PNB Sport News Update. I'm Abel Sunday.
I beg your pardon. Welcome back. Let's move on to the focus of the day. The segment where we dissect the stories shaping Nigeria's destiny. Now, here's a headline that should make every Nigerian pause. Bandits block harvest in Zamfara and Sokoto. Farmers forced to pay tax or surrender crops. Yes, you heard that right. In some parts of the northwest, bandits now determine who farms, who harvests, and who eats. They collect harvest tax, impose levies, and even issue threats of death for those who refuse to comply. Tell me, what kind of nation allows its food producers to be taxed by terrorists? While government officials hold press conferences. Welcome back to the program. Comrade Bitako, welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, please.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on the program this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
So let's get right into the question. Let's begin with the moral and security question. What does it say about our state institutions when farmers must pay taxes to bandits to access their own land?
You don't need to go far to understand that we are operating as a failed nation. Failed nation in the sense that I keep on saying that Nigerian government has been very, very complicit in the fight against insecurity and in the fight against banditry, kidnapping, terrorism in this country. You could imagine within a country, a sovereign nation, you see criminals operating at free will. You see a situation whereby not only civilians are being killed, but our military personnel, our police officers, and other security arms of government are being killed by bandits, are being kidnapped, and ransom are paid to that effect. The question is, which kind of country do we operate? You see a situation where criminals operate and criminals arrested and released without prosecution. These incidences have become alarming, have become so worrisome to the extent today that we find ourselves in a situation where American government under President Donald Trump is deciding or have taken a bold step to interfere in Nigerian security issues. So what do you say? Here we see bandits operating as an independent body within a nation that has government in place. Bandit does not only kill, but that bandits collect taxes. Bandits have colonies within the government of this country. It's quite embarrassing, it's quite disheartening, it's quite saddening, it's surprising. Citizens are blown off. We don't know where we are going. We don't know what to do. We are there's that wide gap of a kind of loss of distrust and confidence between the citizens and the successive government in this country. So the situation has become so worrisome. It is absolutely worrisome.
Well, from your perspective in RAID, how deep is this problem? Are we talking about isolated incident or an organized and parallel economy that's gradually replacing government authority in rural communities?
The issue here, you see bandits operating, bandits frustrating the citizens. You understand? They are depleting, they're breaking down the economy of the entire nation. It's quite surprising. We expect government to be proactive, government to be able to protect lives and properties of its citizens, not government being docile. You see people being killed without government taking necessary action. You understand? So it is entire situation. I don't even just know how to even put it. So everybody is on his own, and the government is on his own. You understand? The government, the leaders in the government are busy looting the treasury. Then the criminals are busy frustrating the poor citizens in the other hand. So what do we say of it?
Well,
what do we describe this kind of situation?
Let's talk about the human impact. But before I go that, I just want to chip in a comment. It's surprising how it is just now that it is agreed upon, or should I say it's now being reported. I mean, for some of us who have been living in the Northwest for some time now, before, but some of our families are still living in the Northwest. I think some of these things allegedly have been happening for a long time, especially these paying tax on farmlands has been happening for a long time. There have been reports about the locals in places like Zamfara, Sokoto, Kebbi, and Katsina that they have to pay ransom for their farms, ranging from ₦1 million and above. But well, these are ordinary Nigerians, poor farmers. What are you hearing from communities in Zamfara, Sokoto, and Kebbi and Katsina about the fear, displacement, and economic hardship this has caused?
What do you hear besides lamentation, besides frustration, besides further sinking these citizens into deeper poverty, impoverishing them day in, day out? We expect government to be proactive. Government should be able to provide security, to be able to protect the citizen, to be able to protect their activities, to be able to safeguard citizens, to be able to safeguard their activities, business activities. You understand? Aside, it is the same city, this is the same poverty, they kind of dampen the economy of the nation. It further bring down the growth and development of our GDP. It renders our people jobless, it renders our people hopeless, it renders our people frustrated. So what we expect over the years, successive government has failed. We expect this government that come with a renewed hope to a kind of replenish the hope of the citizens, but be proactive by protecting the lives and properties of the citizens. This is what we expect. We don't expect the same narrative day in, day out. It's quite unfortunate.
On the policy front, how can the federal and state government dismantle this extortion network? Should local vigilante structures or community policing be empowered to take charge?
The federal government know that. Our security agencies know that. It's just that what do we say? Many have come out. Many leaders have come out to say it is completed from the side of the security agencies we have. It is complicit from the side of the government. If they are not complicit, we wouldn't be where we are today. You understand? So government, we expect government to be 100% proactive in safeguarding this thing, this lives and properties of the citizens. For crying out loud.
Well, locals have reported that the vigilante group structures and even the community policing has, instead of helping, has even created more enmity between them and the bandits, and also creating more problems for them. How do you see statements?
You know why? Because these bandits are citizens. These bandits know these vigilantes, are community members. They know the routes and they know the corners and crannies, and they know the forest very well. So if most at times they fight the bandits to stand still. You understand? But the fact here is there should be a kind of that synergy. There should be a kind of motivation from the government aside the synergy. There should be a synergy between our security active and those of the vigilantes, and the kind of motivation from the government.
But the locals are still complaining that these local vigilantes allegedly are creating more armed groups. Do you understand?
Do you know why? Because these guys are not being cross-checked. These guys are not being checkmated by the government. They are left on their own. Neither the communities appreciate them, nor the government. So why would they align themselves when they have placed their life at stake? You understand?
Yes.
There is every reason for them to align themselves. If, for instance, the government can support them, if, for instance, the government can motivate them, if, for instance, the government can checkmate them, at least they wouldn't be going yesterday to commit abnormalities in their own in their mode of operation.
Okay, before I let you go,
because they are left on their own, at the mercy of their duties, at the mercy of their own activities, most of them are not sent. They are bound to create abnormalities within their operations. So you don't blame them. You blame the system that leave them unchecked and leave them without motivation.
Okay, finally, before we let you go, Comrade Bitako, what message will you send to the political class and the military establishment about the urgency of reclaiming our farmlands before hunger becomes the next national security crisis?
The message I always give to the government of Nigeria is every sector, right from the executive arm to legislative arm to the judiciary and our security outfit, we should be able to behave as citizens, as patriotic citizens. We should be able to heighten to our responsibility of safeguarding lives and properties of the citizens, of be able to provide welfare services to our citizens. We should be able to protect the integrity and sovereignty of this nation. Unless and until we do that, we are not operating as nation within the community of nations. For crying out loud, these killings, I don't blame them to a greater extent. It's high time we should establish that strong political will and political conviction of restoring the dignity and integrity of this blessed country, Nigeria. This is my uncle.
Thank you so much, Comrade Bitako Abubakar Umar, the spokesperson of the Rebuild Ariwa Initiative for Development, for always jumping on the train when it comes to issues that has to do with the North, economics, psychology, and what have you. Thank you for this insight.
Thank you so much.
At this point, it's clear